the self-talk, this conversation that we seem to have with each other, regardless of who you are, we all have this. Some of us say it out loud, some of us it's internal, but it's self-talk. And what I've noticed over the years, just with me first, is this is a direct reflection of where I'm at, this talk that I'm having. For me, it progressed into now, in some cases, recording it and just having the self-talk out loud, like I'm actually talking to myself. In the past, I've heard myself, that was stupid. Little things like that. Well, why is this happening to me? Why? This is what creates the problem, I think, in our lives. Family, friends, work, with colleagues. You create the life that you want and that you have from the inside out. And this is a reflection of everything that you do and the people that you talk to. People are either being attracted to you or slowly being pushed away by you based on the self-talk that you have. This is why I start with Sphere. I think is the biggest opportunity that we have all across the board, because not all of us have a large amount of past clients. And so with Sphere, I think the one thing you have to do is categorize them correctly on the back end of your CRM. If you don't have a CRM, I would suggest that you get one.
I think texting the newsletters is huge. I feel like we're always so thinking that we need to email them. And the texting portion of it, you can see if they read it right away, most likely. You can also deliver it to people that are in your core sphere, the ones that you're most focused on, give them a new real estate market update. Check in with how your business is doing. So I think the possibilities are kind of endless there, but these are really cheap and efficient ways to do this.
Yeah, I think that on the texting, you can go in so many different ways with this. But remember, I'm only showing you the possibilities. Tristan and I are only showing you possibilities. We don't want to take you to a world where you're spending so much money that you're spending more than you're making. Nikola Tesla says something about energy. He says, if you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. And I would apply that to relationships as well. This is where it starts. Energy matters. You can either be that person that as soon as they walk into the room, you're attracted to them. I want to be that person, don't you? In your mailings, in your events, in your social media, in as much as you can. That's all we've got. We've only got what we're producing for other people. And a lot of that energy for me comes from delivering value. And I learned that at a young age. So I'm asking you now, guard your energy. Do things that energize you. This is why I have a whole morning routine, and we went a little bit over it on Monday. But the evening routine as well. What are you doing on a consistent basis to increase that energy? To align yourself with people that give you back that energy, because it matters. You have to think psychologically, like, how am I impacting people when it comes to this business? Because the nuances matter so much. I'm telling you, because I've seen the difference. Somebody getting something that has e-ink versus something that's hand.
1 minute. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to text everybody. I'll text them now. While everyone's jumping in, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are, good evening. Let me grab this and send it over to everyone. We'll do... We'll send it out to everyone, sure. We're just sending out one last text to remind everybody about the last day. Today's the last and second day. Should be fun. Let me just make sure it's the right link. I don't want to send them to the wrong thing. That'd be fun. For me, maybe, but not for everybody else. Join me in the last day of. Some of you will be getting this text, and others or not on here, may not. All right. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. Let me know if you were here yesterday and the one thing that stood out from yesterday's session, from yesterday's mastermind, from our get together, from just talking and going back and forth. A lot of great chatter in the chat. So, in the chat, let me know what you learned, what stood out, what you're going to do, what your big aha was. And if you missed yesterday, just let us know. We're going to send it out, the recording with all the links to everyone on Wednesday. So tomorrow. Let's see what we got. I've got Gina. What's up, Gina? Carlos, Noreen. Uh, is it Novelette? That's a nice different name. I like it. What's up, Paul? Juan, how are you doing? Blair, you're here. How are you, buddy? Trish, nice to see you. Simon, nice, buddy. Thanks for jumping on. All right, let's see. Stephen, you missed yesterday. No problem. Genevieve, you missed yesterday. We've got you. Don't you worry. Yes, staying in touch with past clients. Carl, yes, isn't that the key? I mean, to everything that we're building here over a longer period of time in this business. That is really key. James, when you're speaking from authenticity, this all gets so much easier. James, the thing that I've learned is when you speak with sincerity, you don't have to fake who you are in the future. You don't even have to remember stories because you're just saying it like it is, how you feel it, and people know. I love that. Great point. David, what's up, man? Yep, the different ways to connect with people from my friends on Facebook. I like that. Trish, I was here and I realized I need to set aside a couple of hours to really drill down my niches. I was thinking that earlier today about that exact same thing, Trish. And I was just internally talking to myself and saying, "Hey, Tristan, I think you probably need to slow down in something." In fact, if you're part of a Brilliant Tribe, our group coaching, later today when we have our group coaching session, I'm going to go over what I've been thinking about because we're in the process of redoing some of the marketing that we do, and I want it to feel different. I want it to connect differently. I want it to really make people feel something. So I'll show you what I'm working on. Blair, I know you missed yesterday. No worries. But I'm glad you're here today. Great information yesterday on vision, mission. Thank you. All right, some good stuff. I like it. And we've got a couple of AI bots. James, if you can remove those so they don't spam the group. Thank you. Appreciate that. Gail, hello from Reno. Long-term endurance because of clients. Clients are for life, right? Excited download. All right. Let's get started today. I'm excited today. I went over we went over everything that we're going over today. I changed a couple of things just so that it benefits you better in this 2-hour session. And remember, if you've missed any of this, or you go out to eat, or you have to go pee, which sometimes we do, it's recorded and you'll get a copy along with all the links. Okay. So today I'm drinking coffee. Just in case you're wondering what the hell I was drinking, I want to start off by showing you something that our team just made, just to give you an idea of what we are, what we stand for, and then we'll get into it. We just recently redesigned our website as people are jumping in here. It's a brillianttribe.com, and it tells you a little bit about me, our community that we have, and then our solutions. We've got group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and we've got digital marketing where if you need us to do all the marketing for you, go deeper, we can definitely do that. If you're not part of our email list, go ahead and join right there. And then obviously a couple of books that I've written, and then my friend Barry Jenkins, who I wrote the foreword to, wrote that book. So we put it in here. And then we've got something interesting for you here, something that we've been playing with, and that's what we're calling right now a toolkit, but a place where you can go and find different tech depending on the theme. So you see websites, social media, real estate CRMs. Our goal is to eventually fill this up so that you have a place that you can go and check out if you want websites, and we'd give you all the different options you've got. Right now, it's minimal, but we're starting. And I really love this section. I think it's going to be amazing. But check us out. It's abrillianttribe.com. And for the discount that we have today, it's specifically for the group coaching that we offer for Pathfinders. That's a single agents. We do have one for it's called Visionaries, which you have for teams and brokers, team leaders, brokers, and all that. But check us out there. I know we're putting in the link there, but with that, gives me enough time. Everyone's in. Let's do this. The core to your growth, the gas to your engine in this business is, and in any sales business, is your database and your ability to continually grow it. I talked to the creator of Grubhub a few years back. Actually, it was last year. It feels like a few years back. And when I was talking to him, he said, "Hey, Tristan, it's the most interesting thing," he said. When I graduated from MIT, was living in Chicago, I wanted to order a pizza, and it was and then it got a little complicated. I said, "Why can't ordering food be easy?" And he said the most difficult thing I encountered in building out Grubhub, and for those of you who don't know Grubhub, it's like DoorDash. It was before DoorDash, right? It was the one, he was the one that created this whole vertical, right? But Mike, I think his name's Mike Urban. And he said, Tristan, the surprise for me was as I was growing my business was how much I needed sales skills. And I'm like, tell me more. He's like, well, I know you're a real estate agent and you do real estate. But to me, it surprised me that this business, right, the DoorDash Grubhub business, required me to pick up the phone and reach out to businesses and explain the value that we had. And I realized that we were hiring, as we were growing and we were hiring salespeople, the ability for me to scale and grow this really depended on those salespeople being able to express the value that our company had. And I became so amazing at selling our company and what we had to offer that we started growing. People understood it. And then we saw the results, and then the results spoke for themselves. So as you're thinking about your database, this is the glue. This is everything. You have to keep on adding to it, though. And I would love for you to start just with your phone. Like, who is on your phone? If you go to the contact section and you scroll all the way to the bottom, it tells you how many people are on there. But the challenges are not categorized. I bet you probably only 30 are on there that are categorized. Like it says mom or dad or sister or coworker or associate or realtor, whatever it is, plumber. I want you to start categorizing your database because that becomes the key then to unlocking the power of your database. So I'd love for you to grab some time, like Trish said, great point on time, because I have to slow down too. I want you to take some time and go through this amazing database that you have and export it onto an Excel sheet. And once you do that, you're able to then categorize it into Follow Up Boss or Lofty or Boomtown or KV Core or Command, whatever you have. It doesn't matter. The point is you have to start categorizing them as either past clients, core sphere, just regular sphere. And the secret to this is you can't be scared to throw away people. In a sense, not throw them away, you'll never contact them, but throw away people and not contact them again, meaning picking up the phone and calling them. Your core is going to help grow everything else. but you have to identify who they are. And the tool that we use, it's really easy. It's called MC, like M as in mother, C as in cat, MC Backup Pro. And it's not my company, and I think it costs $3, maybe. It's an app. MC Backup Pro, you download it and you export all of your database from your phone onto an Excel sheet. And when you're there on the Excel sheet, you can go through and then say, I don't even know this person. Boom. You're cleaning up your database so that by the end, I've got almost 4,000 people on mine, right? And when we extracted it, I ended up with only 2,000 because I didn't have names. I'm like, I'm not calling that person, but I'll tell you who did. And I don't know if he's on here. Mark Rader, he's one of our coaches. He did the same thing, and he didn't care that he didn't have a name. He just picked up the phone and said, "Hey, somehow you're on my phone. This is Mark Rader." I was like, "Dude, I'm not doing that." But good luck, and he did really well with it. I'll type in the chat so you have MC Backup Pro. Everyone needs to do this at every level because you always add people on there and you forget to add them into Follow Boss or Lofty or whatever. So with that, I want to go over something that I outlined for you. This is the piece that I changed up. I wasn't going to go over this, but I thought one of the biggest challenges I see in the real estate industry is the ability for us to pick up the phone and have a simple, meaningful conversation that starts with a reason for calling. And a lot of you, no matter how many times I tell you, still pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm just calling to check up on you. Hey, I'm just calling to check to see how your home's doing. Hey, I'm just calling to touch base." That's a continual thing, and it's a bad habit. So, Matthew, good point, buddy. I love that. By the way, Matt, MC Backup Pro also works for Android as well, so don't worry. And so here, I want to share this document with you, and that's reasons to reach out to your database. It says 17. So on the top, when you get this on Wednesday, or if you're part of our coaching, you'll get this today. It says 17, but I went through it yesterday and I crossed out some of these because I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. Remember yesterday we were talking about how things feel spammy sometimes, or things just don't feel right. So when you go through this, you know what? Let me talk to you. When you go through this, if you go through one of these and you're like, it's just not me, skip it. I'm not going to tell you, hey, use this script, use this thing, if it just doesn't fit who you are at the core. I want you to be sincere in your communication. That's the key for people opening up. They need to know that you care first, right? So let's transition back over here. All right, reasons to reach out to your database. Can you all see this? Give me a yes in the chat. So I know, perfect. Thank you, Trish. All right, so the idea behind this, you want to read this with me at the top because I put it there so you guys know what it's for. The reason behind this is reaching out to your past clients and sphere of influence is to connect with them authentically or sincerely so they know you care. When you reach out with value and with care, you'll find that the real estate conversation comes up on its own, and it does. It does most of the time. It's very important to know why you are calling your past clients. Don't leave it up to randomness or spur of the moment if you can help it. So here are some ideas, all right? I've got holiday greetings, and for those of you who celebrate Easter, it just passed. And for me, the holiday greetings is probably the easiest one. And this is why I put it as number one. And look at what I put right here. It says, your job is to make it seem personal and connect with them at a different level, except I forgot the L. Remember, no sales pitch, just a warm wishes. And when you reach out to them, contribute what you are doing for the holidays after you ask what they're up to. I'm going to share one and then go to the next one on the industry one. The best one we've ever done, which garnered us 3 transactions in one call for a holiday, was 4th of July. In fact, my buddy Nick Baldwin did the exact same text. And it was for 4th of July. It was a simple text. And I sent it out to 60, just a little over 60 past clients. So I copy pasted and I just changed the name. So it's, hey, Joe. Actually, let's pick somebody here. I'll put Trisha. Hey, Trisha. It's Tristan. Not sure what you're doing for 4th of July, but we're having a barbecue, barbecuing some steak. Uh, are you guys barbecuing? Question mark. That's it. That's what we sent out. And the response was, because we're not just saying happy 4th of July, because the response would be happy 4th of July, happy 4th of July, happy 4th of July. Same thing with Easter, happy Easter, happy Easter, happy Easter, happy Easter, happy New Year, happy New Year, happy. You see that? You set the tone with the type of communication you have. And I don't know that we realize it because we're just copying. In copying, we don't stand out. We're designed to be ignored. Instead, ask a question that draws out an answer. And so we simply did that. And we do that for almost every holiday. We don't just say Happy New Year, right? I always lead with what I'm doing, even if I'm just chilling at home. But in this case, somebody didn't even answer the question. They just went ahead and said, Tristan, you know what? We were just talking about you. And we're thinking of selling our home because we need to downsize. In fact, can you call us? And so my simple response was, amazing, but you didn't answer my question. Are you barbecuing? And they laughed. I laughed. Yeah, we did 3 transactions out of that one in the process of 60 days. And yes, you are going to get, Keely, you're going to get a replay of this one. No worries. And let me then shift over to the second one. Holiday greetings. Please ask questions, lead by example. Industry news. I shared a little bit of what we do yesterday on this one specifically, and I love doing this one because when you're connected with your core sphere, core past clients, this one turns out to be one of the most amazing ones because people love to be asked for advice. And so what we do, and I'll share a different one that we do on this one, is this. We know things happen on the news and people have always have an opinion. And so the one that we use the most often is when there's a shift in the market, a heavy shift. Either interest rates dramatically went up, dramatically went down, things aren't selling, people are making noise in our area. And so a simple message, and it starts with a text. Most of these start with text because that's how people communicate right now, especially your core people. Simple text saying, hey, who can I pick on? Simon, I'm going to pick on you. Hey, Simon, it's Tristan. Listen, I have a real estate question for you. It's about the market. Let me know when you have time. Instantly goes, yeah, what's up? Call me. And so I jump on the phone. Hey, Simon, it's Tristan. Here's a weird question for you, but what do you think's going on with the real estate market? I'm just calling all of our core past clients just to ask. And then I just shut up. And then you wouldn't believe the most amazing things that happen. They start talking about what they think is happening. And by the way, most of my past clients are on point. They're all homeowners, right? So in my core sphere, some of them get it, some of them don't, but I still listen because you know what I'm setting them up for? I'm setting them up for them to ask me a simple question, and that's, Tristan, what do you think? And now, like I told you yesterday on this part, or something slightly different, now they're asking for my advice. And now it falls on ears that are listening versus us spewing things out in the wrong timeline. It's good information, but people aren't going to listen to things that they're not wanting to listen to. In this case, they asked me, Tristan, what do you think about the market? I'm like, well, now that you asked, let me tell you what I think. And then that opens up a whole different level of conversation. See, how we were taught to do business and create relationships is very forceful. And your job is to be more Socratic in your method, like Socrates. In fact, Benjamin Franklin, when he discovered the Socratic method, he's like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing ever. I just ask questions and people become my friends. That's your job. Instead of telling people what they should think and what's happening, you need to almost discover it together. That's what keeps the relationships going longer term, and people feel like you value them. It's all about questions. Look what I did on the first one. Holiday greetings. Oh, this is what I'm doing. What are you doing? It goes deeper. Aaron, what's your thought on asking the real estate question to a Facebook page for a community? I love that. In fact, Blair's on here. He has a Facebook group. He's one of our coaches, and he's also a coaching client. He has a Facebook group of 29,000 people in the Phoenix area. And he asked a couple of real estate questions over the last week. And man, that was amazing. The results, just the lessons you learn in reading that, absolutely amazing. So, yes, just make sure to don't take anything personal. Ask questions that create conversations. Okay. Uh, Very good question. Very good question. Yeah, Blair said the question blew up. What is that? 15,000 reach and 400 comments. Yeah, that's powerful, right? Very powerful. So thank you, Blair. Appreciate that. Now, as we get into this more, let me share. I'm not going to go through all of these because these would probably take a whole coaching session, but we will later on a coaching session. So jump into coaching. We've got a discount this week. Next one, anniversary recognition, good one. Survey or feedback requests, another great one. Networking opportunities has been really good if you're involved in the community at a deeper level, or if you just go around and network with people. I have a really high network. We live in an area that has a lot of wealthy people that like to connect around shiny objects. I'm going to stop sharing. Around cars, right? Around galas. So if I know that there's a car show going around close by, I will invite people to it, especially if I'm going to it, and then we talk and meet. And look, I don't know the difference between engines. I don't know much about cars, believe it or not. This is why I drive a Tesla. I'm like, it's just a battery, which is great, and it has an iPad, and then I can drive. But the people that come to this, it's like they go nuts on these cars. And I'm like, yeah, so can you explain it to me? I don't even know what the hell. And they appreciate that more because now they're teaching me. And I use it as an opportunity to connect with people, right? So whatever is happening in your area, pay attention because you can use it deep. And I mean, car shows, man, that's the last place I thought we would get that much business from. But yeah, car shows is great. Recommend a book or a podcast. I do this by text, by the way. I do this in a simple fashion. Remember, this is our core sphere, core past clients. These are people that know me that I know, and you can text easy. It's on a call. Hey, it's like if I go to Aaron, hey Aaron, it's Tristan. Listen, I was just reading a book. I don't know how that conversation would go, but if I'm texting Aaron, hey Aaron, I read this really great quote, and remember, this is going out to like 30 of my past clients. And it was just really good. And I thought of you. Boom, send it over. All right, just finished this great book, great lessons. Here it is. But I'm not doing this every month. It's like maybe twice a year. But it's something different that interrupts the pattern of what real estate agents typically send to their clients. And remember, these are your core past clients. Your job is to take care of your sphere and your past clients so you stand out, so you're not ignored. Coffee or meal invite, my favorite one. Yesterday we went over one-on-one coffees. I love doing that one. Offer a free resource if you've got something of value that you think they would benefit from. For example, if you are starting, let me stop sharing. If you are starting a Facebook group just for your core sphere, past clients, a community, or let's say it was for the car show and it's for a specific type of vehicle or classic cars, right? Then I would call up or text and say, hey, I just started this group. Want to come in? I know you love this. Or I know you live here. I'm starting this community. that would be a great option. Let me go to some questions, as I know some of this gets a little elusive. Um, Dave and his amazing bread, by the way, if you don't know Dave's also in our coaching group. He has these great videos on sourdough bread, which is amazing. Arshad, we're doing a community fair and we have heavy hitter sponsors and social media. Huge for this. Blair is having this big giant community. Blair, can you put up your link to Valley Palooza so people see what you're doing in your community? I would love people just to understand uh there it is. Thank you, Blair. And that started just from a Facebook group, right? Just from that, it's starting to grow and becoming big. So you get an idea of what the possibilities are from something that you think is so simple, but the thing is you're passionate about it. Remember yesterday I said, let's focus on what you're amazing at, what you love, and what can make you money. And I think sometimes those three things don't come together. It's like, oh, you're passionate about it, but can it make you money? And are you really good at it? You know what? I'll tell you what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about playing Fortnite, but I suck at it. My kids tell me daily that I'm terrible at it. So unfortunately, I can't make money from it unless I make videos that are like, how terrible are you at Fortnite? Right. And so it doesn't match the three circles. So be careful what you focus on because sometimes you may not be as great at it and you can't make money. Yeah, Blair's done a great job. Let me shift over. And by the way, if you do want to go in and coach with Blair, he's part of our coaching organization. So jump in there as well. Let's go through. Saw you on social. This is probably the best one. And then right after this one, we'll shift out of these. So go into communicating with leads in general. For me, this is probably the best way outside of the first two to communicate with my sphere. And I'll give you the best example. It's similar to what, let me shift over on my screen and go to Facebook. And it's as simple as this. Let's go to, let me like that one. Oh, my buddy. Let me go to a person. Perfect. I'll go to Susan or Susanna. So let's go to Susanna. Let's say I know her, which I do. I read this whole thing and then I don't comment or like it. I'm going to now use this as a form of me texting her and communicating with her. So my text to her is going to be something like, hey, I saw that, whatever it was, on Facebook. Just wanted to say, is it congratulations or I'm sorry or do you need help? Whatever it is, right? And for me, I'm using social to connect deeper outside of social because they're my core sphere. They're my past clients. And that means a lot to them, right? Because all I'm worried about, like I told you yesterday, that key thing that underlies everything is how am I making people feel? That just consistently lives all over my brain. How are you making people feel? In fact, I think about this on the consumer side. I think about this on the lab code agent side. I think about this with you right here. I think about it with coaching. Like, I don't just put shit out there. I'm worried. I'm like, wait a second, is this valuable? How did we use this and how has it helped us? I'm testing it out with us first before I give it to you. And then it develops. So think about that every single time when you do things, go deeper. All right. Julie, yes, definitely. Definitely. All right. So I will provide this document. Remember, it's 17 here. Let me go through. It's 17. It says 17 at the top, but it's not because I crossed these out. You can see. And that's enough of that. I want to go over to explaining to you what online leads are because not a lot of you truly understand what online leads are. And I have this little tiny graphic for you. I believe it's right here. Perfect. It is. It says content marketing funnel, but this one applies to online leads as well. Let me know if you can see this, by the way. I just need a yes, a quick yes, so I know I'm on the right screen with you. I eat tofu. Perfect. Blair, thank you. Appreciate that. I eat tofu too. And I'm going to start with a quick story so I can explain the tofu, mofu, and bofu to you. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. That's what it stands for. And this is specifically for leads. It means any type of online lead that you get. Facebook, Instagram, Google, SEO, YouTube, Instagram, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, anything. And I've been, I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing, but one of them, I've been, is there a word that says both? Blessed? Maybe it's cursed, whatever. I've spent millions of dollars on online leads, and I've spent a lot on referral fees. I don't know how many to the referral companies, and I'll show you some referral companies. But in that process, I learned to work online leads because my background is all on telemarketing. I'm a telemarketer at heart, high school, college, and then real estate. And then I'm like, wait, this is telemarketing, right? And so I just switched it and said, let me connect with people at a deeper level. And what I've noticed is this: when it comes to online leads, I'm going to shift over. I'm going to be general here. Now, it doesn't mean that what I'm about to tell you fits every single time, but it fits most of the time. And so that's the important piece to help you understand why we do what we do with our marketing money to be able to place it where we think it fits best. All right. And now with certain rules that might take place in mid-July because of the possible settlement, it puts it even more in perspective for you and for me as a real estate agent. So tofu top of funnel. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how this looks. I'm on Facebook. Let's refresh this so we can see what happens. I'm on Facebook. I'm scrolling through. And why are you now? This is a participation. Why are you typically on Facebook? As I'm scrolling through, what are you looking for? What's the reason you're on Facebook? Tell me. Put it in the chat. What's the number one reason you're on Facebook? And then I'll tell you why I'm on Facebook. Multiple reasons. But what's the number one reason? I want some answers. For me, it's typically just to see what's up with my friends, right? Or wait, I saw a good one. Michelle, because you're old? Come on. What the hell is that? That made me laugh. That was good. I mean, that might be an answer. I guess I'm old too. It's terrible. That was good. All right, let's see what other people are saying. Connect with people, see what people are doing to connect with. I'm nosy, connect with people. I like that. All right, you're not wrong. All of you are right. And yeah, for the number one reason is to connect with people, by the way. Number two, believe it or not, according to the stats, is a combination of entertainment with reading news. Who knew? And when you're looking at this, none of those in the top are finding a house. And so the challenge becomes this: as I'm scrolling through on my phone, on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, any social platform, I'm scrolling through, I'm not looking for a property. That's not how it typically works. And so if I find a nice house, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Click. And then it asks for information. And then I have to give it information. And it says, hey, we're going to probably call you. I'm like, whatever. Click, right? And then I see the house. The intent is super low when it comes to most Facebook lead ads, most Instagram lead ads. It's very, very low because nobody typed in, I want to find a house. So you see, we place them at the very top of the funnel. Let me go back to Facebook and let me go to the funnel. So this is why it's just about letting them know we're around. Take a look at homes. Got it. Top of funnel. So Facebook, Instagram, any type of ads in that way, not organic dancing people like TikTok or maybe even tours of homes. That's a little different. I would put that more in the middle of the funnel. But typically you're going to find those at the top. Now in the middle is where the opportunity is. And that's where we find, I'm going to stop sharing. That's where we find Google. And I'm going to take you through this live so you can see this. Um, Live so you can see this. Here we go. And if you have any questions, type them in there. If I miss them, I will get to them. I want you know what? Let's pick a city. Give me a city. Where should I type homes for sale in? Put it in the chat. Homes for sale in what? What cities first? Let's see. Homes for sale in Cape, uh, Cape Coral. There it is, Cape Coral. Let's go to Cape Coral. I don't know where that is. So that's why I chose it, and because it was first. Let's go. Homes for sale in, there we go. Is it Cape Coral, Florida? Is that where it is? I'm assuming. All right. You've got now some sponsored posts. 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. Nope, not 4. Sometimes it's 4. But look who's competing with your Google pay-per-click. This looks like a real estate team, which is amazing. Congratulations to whoever they are. And then you've got 2 of our direct competitors who sell us those leads, Realtor.com and Redfin. And you know they're competitors. In fact, Redfin wants to destroy the way we function, right? Which is fine because we need to be challenged to grow. I like that. And Realtor.com can't seem to get anything right. So let's stick with this one, Cape Coral, and see. There we go. Whose is this? This is nice. So we see property. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. And we've got Cape Homes team at BBC Realty. And it's a Real Geek site. Very cool. So they're running some Google PPC. Now, here's the thing. If I go back here and I type in homes for sale in Cape Coral around close to the beach, that becomes a long tail keyword. And as I add more information to it, what happens is it starts sending me even more direct to certain places. Now, here's the key to that. Think of the intent behind it. Because I'm always thinking when it comes to marketing, intent. What's the intent? What's the intent? Because the deeper the intent, the better quality lead we get. And so if somebody's looking in Cape Coral, Florida, close to the beach or a specific beach or a school or a hospital, what happens in they know what they're looking for. And that puts them right in the middle because at the top, they have no idea. There's no real intent. But as you get closer, that intent becomes more real, right? And that's why when you're doing SEO, organically, search engine optimization, and you're blogging and people type in certain things, or you're doing a video about a specific area, you can go deeper and deeper with this. And so that I think is the important piece to something we miss. It's like the intent behind the activity that people are doing. And in 2014 and 15, Google came up with a term called micro moments. And if we start using these micro moments for our benefit to attract people, micro moments are this. What would someone, the consumer, what would someone who's looking for a home in Malibu type when they're looking for a home? In fact, what if we go for sellers? If a homeowner in Malibu has been living in their home for 5, 7 years and something breaks, or they have a question about how to get rid of rust or how it's something along those lines, you start creating the right content for those micro moments. And so you start attracting people that way with the right content. That's a whole content class. I just wanted to touch on that. Now, if we go back to the middle piece to this, and let's go back to the middle. If we go back to the middle, your biggest opportunity that you have is on Google. And if we look at the most visited websites in the world, Google's still number 1, YouTube's number 2, which we'll touch on a little bit right after. Now at the bottom is, of course, people that are more ready to transact. And those come in the form of referrals. Those come in the form of people going online and looking for reviews and then contacting you directly. Those also come in the form of, in some cases, the portals that have nurtured all of these online leads for a period of time, and people keep on coming back to them until they're ready, and then they contact an agent. So that's what makes Redfin so good. That's what makes Realtor.com leads pretty decent, and Zillow as well. The only thing is they know that. So they're more expensive. And Redfin knows that too. So they take a big cut. And so it becomes a challenge then. Where is the biggest opportunity for you to invest more money? It's in the middle every single time. Because in our area, it's $500 a Zillow lead. $500 a Zillow lead. Whereas if I go to Google pay per click, that's just pay per click, not SEO or doing YouTube videos. It's about $20 a lead. And when you look at the conversion, 6% conversion on Zillow, 1% conversion on Google pay per click. And this is an average. Obviously, some people are better and some people are better over here. But when you look at the money spent, money invested, Google wins every single time. There's no comparison. And so when you look online, this is why Zillow, Redfin, Homes.com, everyone's in the game because they want to be in the middle before you get there. So they can sell the lead to you. They can sell the lead to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when we know what's happening, it becomes a lot more powerful because you can plan around it or you can plan to go through it. But the key is when you look at this funnel, you look at your opportunities. It's like, well, let's take a look at now being able to optimize online leads regardless of where they're coming from. And I have another graphic for you. And this I will give. In fact, I've given this one. Let me grab it. I've given this one a few times on lab codes. And these are pay at closing companies. And pay at closing companies are changing up a little bit, as well as some of the lead generation companies, because there's a law passing in June that's stating that leads can't be sold to multiple agents. They can only be sold to one direct agent or team. And that's going to change the way some companies sell leads. Right. I don't know that it'll affect Zillow as much because it's Zillow Flex. They go to a team and a team calls them. Right. But when you look at companies like this, and you can take a snapshot of this, I would recommend that if you've been in business for a little bit, to reach out to most of these. And for me, when I started, I started with the referral companies. I loved Redfin at the time. We tested out Ojo and we like it. For me, the best story still with Estately. And if you get into Rocket Homes, they're amazing as well. But Estately, I'll give you a story. I get a call, I get a text from a referral company, and it's at 8, it's got to be 8:30 p.m. at night, my time Pacific. And the number is not from our area. I Google it, and it's from New York. And I'm like, I already have a challenge sometimes mentally, right? A mental challenge. I'm like, should I text? Should I call? So I text. I'm like, hey, you just visited our website. I saw the home that you wanted to see. Let me know if you have questions or if you'd like to see it, right? And because they said I'm interested in this one. And so she texted me back. She says, call me. I said, okay, I'll call you. So I hit her up and she says, hey, look, I'm in New York right now. It's midnight. I'm like, oh, damn. All right. And she starts talking to me. We connect. And then she tells me, hey, Tristan, listen, I'm looking for this and this type of home up in the Topanga Hills, close to Malibu. And then she goes and says, hey, I'm the interior designer for Nicolas Cage and for Johnny Depp. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So she comes down. This is an Estately referral lead, right? I think it was, she comes down. And I meet her up on a home up on the hill, great views. And I show up with my Cocoa Puff shirt. This is the sincerity part, okay? You be you, I'll be me. I show up with my Cocoa Puff shirt and jeans and sandals, right? It's my first meeting. And I get out of the car, and the first thing she says is she hits her husband on the shoulder and she goes, look, honey, he's wearing a Cocoa Puff shirt. I knew we would connect. And I was like, oh, cool. My type of people. People like people like us do things like this, right? Seth Godin. I think sometimes we're scared to be ourselves, right? We're scared to be us. But I think what people want to connect with is somebody they can trust, and they can only trust you if they know that you're being sincere. And so, yes, we closed that one. It was 2.4 million off a referral. It's the best referral story I've got for these referral companies, but I suggest that you put yourself out there. Cocoa Puff's cool. Sandals and jeans, not cool. Thanks, Blair. So take a picture if you need it. If not, don't worry about it. Now, I want to go into the lead flow just so you understand what lead flow looks like for online leads, Google, Facebook, anything along those lines, even referral leads. And we do have one of these for Zillow and Realtor.com. They're slightly different because those are more bottom of funnel, ready to transact for the most part. Google and Facebook need nurturing. They need love. In fact, they need different types of conversation. And so when you come in here, they fill out a questionnaire before they get to us. And then what happens is they go into our CRM, and I'll show you our CRM and how it looks. They go into our CRM, and then they get retargeted. It's called real estate ads. Used to be called Dare Dynamic Ads for Real Estate. They changed that. And then they get to us, the agent or the ISA. I love it being the agent. We do such a good job on the agent side of things. And then this is our process, and I'll go through this with you. So I'm going to skip this right here just to show you what happens. Once we connect, we set up a home search, or we fix their home search because their home search is already set up. And then if we make contact with them, we decide what happens here. Are they an A, B buyer, meaning they're ready to transact in the next 3 months? They're either pre-approved, pre-qualified, or all cash, right? Uh, and then C buyers, 3 to 6 months, and then D buyers a little bit later. In fact, these can go on for years, but I cap it there for 12 months. We definitely keep on nurturing them, but I want to go over this right here for you. And you may want to take notes for this one. I teach this one at a high level, and it's worked for us really well. In fact, that was the reason that I spoke around the nation for Realtor.com for many years, because we had a really good process, and we still do, for converting online leads, database leads, any leads that we talk to. And if you've been part of our coaching, which I know some of you have seen how we communicate with people on the phone, because we do it live on Thursdays. That's one of the coolest classes. Hold on, I got an ice. I had to throw that there because I couldn't talk. And yes, it's iced coffee. So in connecting with people, you get to watch me and my team call and have live conversations with people. We have online leads, expireds, canceled, database leads, past clients. I did past clients last week, and you see just how it is to convert people. And the biggest surprise I get from people that are listening in and watching and listening and not prospecting at the same time is how easy it is. And that's what I want to take you through right now. Because if I'm calling you, let me go back to this one. If I'm calling you, let me see if it is this one, or is it this one? Nope, it is this one. Perfect. It's this one. It says permission specific listen and value. So this is how it works. When I'm reaching out to you, and whether you're a brand new lead, and let me pop up follow up, boss. I would do it live, but if I get somebody, that could be a really long conversation, and I don't want to cut them off. But let's go on follow up, boss, instead of Lofty. Let's go here. You know what? Let's go here. Let's go to Facebook. Let's go to Facebook lead. Gail. Let's go to Gail. And Gail, I can already tell a lot about her. Her area code 602. And it looks like she's a grandma. I love grandson. I love my grandson, Jonah, gmail.com. That could either be a really cool email or somebody's messing with me. I don't know. And you never know. You never know. This one came in through, and it went to Mark Rader. He's on our team, one of our top agents, but he's also a coach. He's already communicating with them. And here's the information that it comes with, right? So it looks like they're looking in Ventura, Facebook lead gen, buyer, and some other information up on top. Here's what I'm doing though. If I was reaching out to Gail from Phoenix, Gail Heron, Blair's on here. He's from Phoenix. Blair, if they need to sell, we will let you know. But here's the conversation. Take this through. It's 5 steps to get into the conversation. Ready? Stop sharing. Number 1 is a call. So I pick up the phone and I call. Right? I dial and I let it ring. I let it ring 3 or 4 times. When it gets to voicemail, or if it doesn't, I hang up. Then I wait 20 seconds because if I don't wait, if I call back really quick, it goes directly to voicemail. It doesn't even ring. So I wait 20 seconds. Then right after that, I call back. And I would say our chances of it getting picked up increase about 20 to 25%, which is not bad. Now, in some cases, they may think like, who's calling me a second time, right? And I'm always thinking, how are they feeling? Am I interrupting them? Man, they might get a little angry, right? So I'm prepared for that too. And so if they pick up, great, we have a conversation and I'll show you what that looks like. But if they don't, I let it go to a voicemail part and then I hang up. I don't leave a voicemail. Nobody checks their voicemail. You can if you want to. But the reason I let it go to voicemail is because I want to either leave a message or not. And here's the trick to it. I'm going to text now. And the text isn't, hey, I just called you. Call me back. Or, hey, is this whatever? Mm-mm. No, remember, you're going deeper with this. Just like our text asking questions, just like our conversations, there's a strategy to this. This is why we have such a high conversion on online leads. Third thing is a text that sounds like, hey, let's see who we're going to pick on today. Trenton, he's part of our team, but I'm going to pick Trenton. Hey, Trenton, it's Tristan. You just visited our website. That's what we'd normally say. But this time I called first. Hey, Trenton, I just called you and I missed you, period. That right there is a very key thing. And this is why we call first. And if you leave a message, you can also say, hey, Trenton, I just left you a voicemail. Sorry, I missed you. Dot, period, right? Put a period. You've been on our website searching for homes in Malibu, period. Are you looking for a home up on the hills or on the beach? Or are you looking for something to move into or something to fix up? Or are you looking for a townhome or a house? You get the drift? It's always this or that. It's not, are you looking for homes? It's not a yes or no. I don't want that. I want to go deeper because the response is typically, and I'll give you one from last week, the response is, oh, we're looking to be closer to the beach. I'm like, oh, great. And then what's bringing you to Malibu? Right? We go deeper. And then I pick up the phone and call. Now, if there's no response on the text, I grab that exact same text and I put it into an email. Why? Because a lot of people still check email. In fact, executives check email more than text in their phone, which is crazy. So I grab that text and I put it into the body of the email. And guess what my subject line is? You can't answer if you've been to our classes. Guess what the subject line is? It's so easy and it gets us so many opens. It's this, Trenton, I just tried calling you. Sorry, I missed you. That's it. And then after the email, I go to the next person on the line. And after about 20 minutes, I go back to this person and I text them and I say, let me know so we know what to send you, dot, dot, dot. We nudge them. So it's those 5 things: call, text, email, pause, and then a text again. And then once I get a hold of them, and then I'll take a little break to take some questions and to let in Trenton, because Trenton's going to show us something pretty cool. Go here. Once I get a hold of Gail, this is what the conversation is going to sound like. Okay. This is what I designed specifically for communicating with people at a high level, leaving an impression, standing out, and eventually getting business from this. and these expand, okay? They go a little crazy, and we'll probably go through it in another coaching call. But today, I'm just going to go right to this. And you'll get this too, so you can play around with it. But you might not understand it without the explanation. So, very first thing I'm letting you do, it's PSLV. It's PS love. There you go. And then I'll stop sharing it and communicate. PS love. Very first thing I'm telling you, if I'm calling Gail, hey, Gail, it's Tristan. I'm going to give you permission to waste my time because it's okay. I want you to feel at ease. I don't want you to feel like you've just walked into a car lot and you've got this salesperson on top of you saying, hey, how do you like the inside of that? Hey, do you want to drive it? Hey, do you want? Mm-mm. No. I'm going to give you permission to waste my time. Hey, Gail, it's Tristan. You just visited our website to search for homes in Malibu. Are you looking to be closer to the water or up on the mountains? Oh, Tristan, I'm just looking. You know what? My son clicked on the button by accident. We get that 50% of the time. In fact, we got that live last week. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. But Gail, I don't want to spam you. That's my next line. I don't want to spam you. That shows that I care and that I take my job seriously. I don't want to spam you, Gail. And I want to send you things you really like, even if you never end up buying anything. Permission to waste my time. Tell me, are you looking to be closer to the water or up on the hills? Are you looking for a fixer or something to move into? Ready. Are you looking for a house or a townhome? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. It's this or that. This or that. This or that. And then even if they said, I'm just looking, and I just go right through that and go to the next one, what happens is I shut up and listen. That's permission. And then L is for listen. You're just going to listen. You're just going to say, got it. This or that. And they're like, that. I'm like, oh, mountains. And then I'm going to do the Chris Voss thing. Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss, another great book. I'm going to do the Chris Voss thing. And they said, oh, I want to be closer to the mountains. The mountains. And then shut up and listen. Yeah, I want to just move closer because of this. Or you know what? We're retiring, or I already live here. The one that I got last week. We already live here. We're living on the beach. We just want a second home up on the hills. I'm like, a second home, huh? What are you going to do with the first home? And they're like, oh, we're going to keep that. I'm like, awesome. Why come up into the mountains? I'm just digging in deeper and I'm shutting up and listening. That's it. Because at some point, as you're listening, here's the key. At some point in PS love, you're going to have an opportunity to give value. But it can't be you telling them when they're not ready to listen. We're playing the whole Socratic method here, right? Asking questions, listening, asking questions, listening until it's the right moment to give value. You know what we do as real estate agents? When we get any type of lead, are you pre-approved? Do you want to see homes today, tomorrow? I'm open. Do you have a real estate agent? Those are all red flags for the consumer. You want to get in my pants, but we haven't even dated. It's like, chill out. And so PS Love works so well with everyone because I'm listening. Oh, there's an opportunity for value because I'm going to be asking so many questions about what they want because it's not about me. They're going to be telling me, well, Tristan, you know what? We've been either thinking about this or that area. That's an opportunity. Value. Well, let me tell you about this area, and let me tell you about this area. Value, right? That's so key because I'm listening. And the thing is, it goes back into a circle. You get specific. And permission, you get really specific, this or that. Oh, we'll drill into this more. Got it. Because that's what you want to hear. I'm listening, and I give value. And it goes back to asking questions and shutting up and listening. And you know what we do at the end of all of our conversations? This is why we have really high conversion. And you need to do this. I'm done with Gail from that you saw on Follow Up Boss. I'm like, Gail, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm going to do two things for you once we hang up. Number one, I'm going to text you so you have my number. Any questions that come up after all this, just go ahead and text me. And number two, since you're moving, let's say she was moving to the area for the first time, since you're moving to the area and you're not familiar where everything is, I have this great document for you that explains to you where everything is. I'll send that over to you. Or, Gail, it's your first time buying it. Listen, I'm going to send over this document by text so you can take a look at what it looks like to buy in California. Or maybe they're downsizing. Hey, Gail, look, I know you're downsizing. Let me explain to you in a quick doc. It's one page. It'll show you what you need to start doing to your home to get the most value. I'll send that over to you. And then I say, Gail, when's a good time to follow up to see what questions you have about that document? That process gets us higher conversion rate than anyone else I've ever talked to. And that one thing, we're going back to the one thing you're more amazing at than other people. That one thing was the one reason I built Lab Coat Agents. I'm like, hey, let's build a place where I could talk about online lead conversion. And we did so well with it, better than everyone else I knew, that we opened up the door to talk about everything else. But for this, you've got to think about like, I guess I need to slow down and talk to people and listen to what they have to say and then give value. It's the opposite of what you've been told. You've been told, hey, follow this script and you're going to close them. Mm-mm. People aren't stupid. I know when people are scripting me, I'm like, oh, this is stupid, right? People want to know you care. That's it. And they know you don't care when you're following a script. This is why telemarketers are hated. This is why there are laws against telemarketers. I want to have conversations that matter. That is the difference. All right, going to questions. Here we go. All right, Ryan. I think Trenton answered that one for you. Do you recommend turning off Raya? Ryan, I think Raya is there to help out and maybe even help raise hands for those that they think are interested. I think the human touch is never going to go away. People need to connect with another human because they need to feel like they're being taken care of. This is why a real estate agent will not be replaced because most homeowners in the United States, this is their biggest investment. This is their biggest nest egg. This is precious to them. And a lot of us don't treat it that way. A lot of us forget that this is it for them. In fact, this is their plan for retirement. This is important, right? All right, so let's go to, I want to show you some things, and then I'm going to go to Trenton. Trenton, we're running a little bit behind, so I'm going to speed through this and get to you. I want to show you, once you've talked to people, I want to show you this. One of the biggest questions we get when it comes to what we show up with on our listing presentations, listing pitches, believe it or not, after we've sent the listing presentation. In fact, I know a lot of you have problems building out a really nice listing presentation. Part of what you get, Trenton or James or anybody, put up the link for group coaching, because one of the things you do get as part of group coaching is LCA Marketing Center, and it gives you the ability to build out anything you want. It's like Canva for real estate. All of this stuff you have, and right now I'm under listing presentations. And yes, we have buyer presentations too. You can modify them. But let's say you are going on a listing, you've got a really nice listing presentation. Let's just create this design really quick. It takes about 30 seconds, 20 seconds. But as it's pulling it up, it's going to, if you've got all of the colors and your face on it, it populates everything. This is a brand new one, so you're not going to see my face or our colors for our team. This is just the basics, so you see what it is. But it's a listing presentation. You fill this out. It's already got the whole process. Even has where things should be. If you do staging, great. If you do photography, if you do marketing, all of this great stuff. So typically what we do is we send this first. Because when I get to your house, this is literally what I go over because I'm thinking, what is the most important thing? Again, what is the most important thing to the client that's in front of me right now? How am I making them feel? My job, and we'll go over this, my job is to make them feel like I am the person to get this done. To get what done? To get what they're telling me. And this is where the conversations take place. I'm listening. I'm like, okay, tell me more. Tell me more. I got it. And then we'll get into this right here. The pre-marketing plan. For us, look, if you see in the background, it's very light, but you see week 3. Then you see week 2, week 1. This is a buildup. It's reversed. And yes, I'm realistic about this. Like some listings we get, they want it on the market that week, right? Or in 4 days. And so we have to rush this. But I'll give you an example. Right now, we're helping out a client who we've been working on for 2 months now. Let me stop sharing. This is Mark Rader's client. We got it as an online lead, as a Google PPC 2 years ago. And they ended up buying a home for $3 million. No, 4 million. Sorry, 4 million. Now they want to sell that home and they want to buy a fixer and then make it even more amazing. And they told us 2 months ago. So we came to the table and said, hey, this is what we do. Since we've never sold with you before, we've only helped you buy. Let's go through this. And so what we do is we sit down. Well, one thing we don't do enough with our clients is we don't simplify the process, but still have them understand that it's complicated. Like they can see the complication in all this, right? And we won't go through all the details. And yes, you'll get a copy of this. And yes, we'll go through it if you're in coaching. But we do sit down and literally go through this. And that's it. Most people that call us, because we've done such a great job beforehand, even if we're competing and they know who we are, when we go through everything that we do and we show them, they're like, okay, great. And that thing that happened to me that I told you about the story yesterday when they said, well, why are we going to pay you $125,000, right? I'm like, because that's the commission. That almost never happens to us. Nobody ever asks, what's the commission? Do we go through it? Yes, we do. But nobody ever asks because they understand the value now. And the challenge is most people don't see the value. And you could see that on the media, like I told you yesterday. What are they saying in the media to you? And yeah, this is water. What are you seeing in the media? We're overpaid. Oh, agents are greedy. But if you explain the value and they see the value and they understand the process, all that goes away. It does. And then once we've got them under contract, we do something where we make sure that they're happy with us. One of the things that I learned from somebody local, we won't get into this, but this is the process, the post-listing process. We pick 2 days, and then we make sure that one of them is a call, email, or just a call. But depending on how they want to be communicated, you see the background, this is Monday, this is Thursday, right? So we've got that process. One of the things I learned from somebody out in Malibu when I was doing a SWOT analysis and I was trying to break into Malibu, I thought, Chris Cortazzo, I think Dave's on here, Dave Schonbrun. Dave, you are perfect. Dave, you know Chris Cortazzo. So everyone knows Chris out here. And when I call expireds for Malibu specifically, and they were listed with Chris, the answer that I get all the time is no, Chris did a great job. When we relist, we'll relist with Chris. Or, no, when I say, so what happened? He's like, well, it wasn't my agent. My agent's amazing. I've never heard anybody, and Chris is probably the #1 agent in the world, I think. And it's just a single agent with 2 assistants. He is, Gina, it's every 2, well, we have 20 of them. I'll go through them before I bring in Trenton. 20 a month. But Chris takes care of his clients. And I learned that post listing process, the post after I get the listing, I learned that from him. Because I said, dude, everybody I call, we became friends through COVID. And I said, dude, everybody I call, man, it's like they're gonna relist with Chris. They're gonna relist with Chris. They're gonna relist with. I'm like, it's hard to hate you, Chris, because you're so damn nice. He's one of the nicest guys. And um, I learned that he communicates really well with his clients, even to the point where things cancel or it expires, he explains the process. And I think a lot of us sometimes get scared to explain what happens next. What happens if things don't go as planned, right? What happens if your home becomes stale? What happens if we just didn't do it? I think that's what we need to train for more, right? That's key. All right, let me show you. We didn't even get into social. All right, Trenton, I'm going to showcase a brillianttribe.com as people ask what's involved in the coaching. If you want to jump in with me so we can transition into quick AI, that would be great. Let me showcase Pathfinder so people know what we've got. So what you get on Pathfinder, this is quick right here. It's $149, usually $479 a month. And it's a weekly Tuesday call with me. So we get to communicate every Tuesday together about what I think is affecting the market. That stays very current. In fact, if things change up quickly, like they have over the last few weeks, we change those calls and the topics fast. Next, weekly script and dialogue group call. That's with Mark Rader, who's one of our top agents. He's the guy I was telling you who's listed that $4 million home and some other stories. Monthly AI, CRM, and social media coaching. Most of those are with Trenton, who's on my screen now. What's up, Trenton? And
What's up?
then we've got Thursday calls, and which I don't know that they're here, but Thursday, let me stop sharing. The Thursday calls, I still think there's two Thursday calls. The morning or midday ones are a little bit of old school, like expireds, canceled for rent by owners, and maybe a little bit more working together. But the really late ones, the 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, are the gold. That's where we jump in and prospect together weekly. And if you don't want to prospect, you just don't. You just listen. But I'll tell you one thing, at the end of that, you will be motivated to make calls. You're like, that was easy. I want to make calls. And that has been the one session weekly that people actually take action. And I feel like that's the piece that's missing for the industry. Because it's cool to teach you all this stuff. But if you're not putting it into play, then we're missing a big piece. And so I always feel like, look, if it's scaring you, then you're doing something right, as long as it's legal, right? If it's scaring you, then you should do a little bit more of it because you're breaking down barriers to get to the next level. And that's what we do here. So put up the link, jump in there. Thank you, Trish. Appreciate that. Trenton, all right, what do you have for us when it comes to AI?
Excellent. Yeah, thank you for that introduction. Great comments in the chat as well regarding your call that you currently are on, Tristan, speaking about the mindset, vision, all your lead conversion, things like that. All that'll always be included in the group coaching as well, but on a much deeper level. So what I'm going to share really quickly is I'm going to go through a few different tabs that I have shared at my screen. And I just want to kind of introduce you to a little bit of the world of AI and what we can do with that for real estate and how we are currently using that right now. This first one I'm going to start with is tome.app. It's more of a idea generation type software platform here with AI to where you can create different outlines, create different images, create a lot of different things. But what we use it for is to help with our blog articles. And so when we create one of these, we're basically getting ideas of how to remarket to our current clients that we do have and different leads that we have on our site, so we can always provide value. And so one of these ones that we did is just, a new homeowner's guide for Malibu. And it breaks it down into kind of like an outline of a presentation of what to focus on. But what we used it for is to get ideas of how to create these articles. And so I did another one as well for Westlake Village. But what we ended up with was basically having these outlines here of all these different blog articles that we could then do for each of the areas that you're in. So if you have, two, three, four areas that you're focused in, you can really build yourself as the local experts in these areas by, focusing on these different type of things. And what the best part is that, when you're trying to send out text and smart plans and things like that, it gets tough to always ask, about the market or, are you ready to buy or, focusing on that real estate type stuff. Well, if you can get around that and start to build yourself as a local expert and create a plethora of blog articles on your site, you can then have additional things to be sending them, whether it be in newsletters, whether it be in text, whether you're sending out different emails of just new things that, hey, speaking of the upcoming holidays that we have, last one for last month or in March, we would do the St. Patrick's Day. So we might have sent out, here are my 5 favorite St. Patrick's Day places to go to celebrate, or, whether it be the 4th of July, here's the best places to view the fireworks, or, focusing on different holidays, but also focusing on specific things to the areas. And so one of these that we broke out for was Malibu, is that we had these different articles, navigating the real estate market, understanding the cost of living, outdoor activities in and around Malibu, from natural beauty to thriving culture, the benefits of living in here. And so this is why we've broken these down, so that way we can then go to our site here and create different articles, specific to these areas, so that we have other ways to reach out and provide value to our leads and current database that we have. They vary in what the things are, but it typically is, how to, retirement reimagined. This one is specifically about school districts within the Conejo Valley. And so it really breaks it down as far as, what to focus on, but also give them something to come back to the website that may entice them to search for homes while they are here. And so we do this especially to continue to provide that value. And so one of the things that we do and help out with our group coaching members is we have a SOP for building the blog articles as well. And so we break down, how to use ChatGPT and Tome to provide topics that we can then have and create things from. Then we use Trello, specifically like this, in order to organize these. And so we can figure out which ones we sent out and which ones we still need to. And then we use ChatGPT as well to draft these articles. And so, that next step here is we then have a prompt that we typically will use, and it really focuses on a breakdown of what we're looking for. And so something that I always tell about to people that are using ChatGPT or using AI is to really treat it like an intern, because you need to teach it, you need to coach it, and to be able to provide what you're clearly looking for. And so one of the things that we focus on here is, make sure we always have guidelines that relate to the article in the way that we want it to sound and to come across. So we'll focus on, making sure the title can go viral and rank highest on Google. Obviously, that's not going to be 100%, but it gives a good starting point for that. We want to make sure that we're a structured list of 3 to 5 main ideas, a certain length for that, what the writing style should be: warm, inviting, descriptive, engaging, catchy, making sure that each article topic is motivating, optimistic, and conversational. And also putting some things in here about bolding some specific things and having header tags. And so what we do is we'll go into ChatGPT and we will actually paste this in here. And the last thing we always ask is, do you understand? And it typically will say, yes, I do. What's the next step? So then we'll put in what the topic is. And so this one I just did, exploring the outdoor activities in and around Malibu. And so then it breaks it down up to what this article should be. I don't always take specifically what it puts out. I typically will take this information and actually use this site called Hemingway app. And so what is great about this is that what we can do is, copy this real quick, and then I'll come over here and can I not delete these anymore? I think they've updated this. There we go. And so we'll put this in here and we can look at what this grade level is. And it shows off, what sentences are really hard to read,
Obviously, you have to think about with ChatGPT, they use some, flowery language every now and then. And so you typically will have to refine that, but it's a great starting point here. And so we could then take this sentence and try to rewrite this and kind of go through and, fix some of these sentences here just so they read a little bit better. And then if we follow that SOP here, so that's the Hemingway app part, but then we also use Grammarly and Quillbot to make sure that we're not doing any plagiarism, but also making sure that it's grammatically correct and things like that. And so this is just one of the things that we would focus on in one of our calls of just how to, utilize ChatGPT, Tome, Trello, Hemingway to then be able to create blog articles on a consistent basis. And once you got the hang of this, you could probably be able to crank these out at least 1 to 2 per, every other day at least, 1 per day if you can really get down to it. But just to make sure that you have some new, fresh, engaging content to be able to continue to provide out to your database as well. And so that's the first one I wanted to cover. The second one I wanted to cover was another thing that we had just created recently was 50 must-use prompts for realtors. And this is a way for, we can, again, we'll be able to share all this stuff with you guys, but we have this to be able to, again, understand who these people are that we're working with and what primary problems that they're feeling, what their emotions that they have. And so an example here that I did was act as an agent, address the concerns of a home buyer looking in a highly competitive market, assuming the solution is to develop a strong competitive offer and be well prepared. And each of these brackets are easily changeable to whatever your focus is, but we actually have a lot of different ones on here as well to get started. But basically, the importance of that is that ChatGPT will then break it down as far as so you're understanding, what their primary problem is, facing high demand for homes. Secondary problem is the emotional toll this competitive market might have, how they're feeling, and then, how you can respond to that. It's common to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, disheartened. There's pressure on not being able to, find that right home. And then it also breaks it down of, what they might be thinking, actionable steps so that they can be prepared, make sure that they have a strong offer, and then things of, what you can do as an agent to make sure that you're encouraging them and supporting them. And then you could eventually take this one step further and start to write out, help me create some newsletter ideas to be able to address these problems, or help me create a social media post to, cater to this type of buyer, things like that. And so we would teach people how to, understand ChatGPT, use ChatGPT, and also be able to create additional content for that. And so that's kind of the next one here that we would definitely be focusing on in depth in one of our calls. And then the last one I want to focus on, because Tristan had talked about social media a little bit, and I don't know if he's going to get into that a little bit deeper, but we do have a social media call every month as well. And one of the big things in AI that I absolutely love, and you can also use it in ChatGPT, but I prefer to use Midjourney. And the reason why is because, an example that we're currently using for just recently was that we have an off-market listing that resembles the look of this home. Now, in California, we can't specifically market that off-listing home, but we can start to tailor these type of homes to generate interest in what this could potentially be. And so we've took a couple of these after creating them, and you can see that we go into Midjourney, and I'll show you really quickly what I mean by that. And we create basically these images from creating prompts. And we can use, I'm just going to go on through here, but we can use something like create me an imagine prompt or Midjourney that showcases a neighborhood on the beach in Malibu. And the important part of this is it will create what that looks like and how we can use it then in Midjourney. Maybe this isn't perfect to what we'd look for. I'd always have you guys check them out. But if you've never used Midjourney, it's actually through a company called Discord.com. Soon, Midjourney is actually going to be launching this Imagine thing in here within Midjourney specifically. But right now, that's currently in testing phases at the moment. But what's so great about that is that, and we have a class on how to use Midjourney specifically, because I know that this can be kind of tough on how to use this stuff. But we would put that prompt in here and wait about 30 seconds for this to generate this image. But you can see that all the different images that we've generated here, showcases different types of home styles, whether you're looking for interior, exterior. For the most part, it looks pretty realistic. Some of them you have to manipulate a little bit because they're not always super realistic. But if you wanted to focus on certain neighborhoods and just being able to, just create different engagement within different posts, you can definitely do that. And so if we come back here, here's one that someone did of a modern high-rise apartment building. Looks like ours is about halfway done here. But it's a great way to create content for your social media to, again, post Q&As, to create polls, maybe just to create questions regarding this specific area. Another one that we like to do is if you do 4 different style kitchens and you can have them pick what style they like the best, or same with backyards or fronts of homes. So it looks like this finished now. And you can see that after we did this neighborhood on the beach here, these are almost highly realistic images here. You could definitely get away with them as far as being able to just showcase things within Malibu here. And so, like I said, we showcase how to specifically use these. I mentioned that you can use it in ChatGPT, you can use it in Bing.com. There's multiple ways to be able to generate these images, but it's just a great starting point to start to be able to have other engaging content that you can then push out. And so, that was just kind of a little sneak peek here of what we typically would cover in some of our classes, but we go on at a much in-depth level and actually break it down. We have different guides that we provide with you guys on how to do a lot of these things. And so just keep in mind that there's so much capability out there with AI, and we're just here to kind of, guide you in what that correct direction would be is and how to utilize a lot of these things to make it easier on you guys too, because as a real estate agent, you really want to focus on selling real estate and not having to be bogged down by a lot of different things. And we try to simplify a lot of these things for you guys so that you guys can focus truly on selling real estate. So Tristan, that's kind of what I would like to share there. Just so you guys are aware, I do coach a CRM call every month, a social media call every month. Sometimes I host the AI, but we also have Chris Tam, who does that as well. I also host a Canva specific training for those, again, that want to create their own flyers, create their own social media posts. We show you how to use these templates so that, again, it makes it a lot easier for you guys to be able to quickly replicate these things. And we can go through specifically in those classes on how to generate the images in Midjourney, how to then bring it into Canva, and then how to build out that flyer, newsletter, social media post, that they can all be similar and relevant and created towards your brand as well. So that's just a little sneak peek there, but I wanted to go a little bit depth into what that looks like.
That was good, man. You've got some questions on there so you can answer them
Excellent.
in a
I
little
will do
bit
that
too.
while you're doing that.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Good rundown. Good rundown.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go for the next 30 minutes and go into being able to break down whatever it is that you've decided to go deeper into. I think, Leanne, you said you just lost your assistant and it feels like you're a little overwhelmed. Well, let's fix that, because this next 30 minutes, 25 minutes will be on helping you identify your priorities, helping you refocus so you know exactly what you need to do. And so I was going to go into social, but we just don't have time. We will go into social in our group coaching probably next week, just so we can dive into it. We haven't done it for a little bit, so it'd be perfect. So next Tuesday, if you are part of coaching, we'll do that. And if you want to put up the link, if you want to join right now, let's do that. And let's go. Here we go. I'm going to show you a document you will get, but we're going to work on it on my iPad together, which is going to be fun, because I'm going to work it with you. Let me grab the document so you can see what it is, and then showcase what it looks like. Okay, let's open this up and share my iPad. You're going to have to help me and let me know when you see my iPad. All right, I need a yes on here. I need a if you're able to see this. Okay, perfect. So you're going to get this document. This document took me 9 years to build out to where its current form is. I use this specifically for consulting companies, building out bigger startups, just consulting in general. I charge about $3,000 for a coaching session with me directly. And when we're helping out big companies like Follow Up Boss, Lofty, RedX, that's $15,000 a month is what we typically do. And so we're not cheap, but we get the job done. That's the thing. And this is why group coaching is such a big, big draw, right? Because you get everything that we do in a group setting. Now, this right here, I'm going to bust out my little iPad pen. This is going to be fun because there's 3 parts to this. Let's go through it really quick so you can see what 3 parts those are. Number 1, we call taking inventory. And so here's where we're going to go through this together. There's 2 pages to this. We've got the 1-year plan and then a 5 and 10-year plan. We're not going to go through this, a 5 and 10-year plan, but then we're going to go over here and we're going to identify, okay, what can we grab from there and bring it over here to then break it down. And we're going to break this down live for you so you can see how this works. And this is recorded so you can go back to it. And then lastly, once you've identified your 3 middle things, your 3 actions, you're going to go to this calendar and we're going to prop it in there and say, got it, I understand what I need to do next. This is a living document. This is going to change. But for the next 4 weeks, I've got this. So let's start this. We're going to have some fun here together. This for me, I'm looking for and saying, okay, this year, and this can be personal too. It doesn't have to be just for business, but I'm going to choose a business one for outlining this because we're talking about real estate. But as you're looking through this, I want you to look through and say, well, if I'm going through this, let me choose the right color. Let's choose blue. If I'm going through this and I say, well, what are my priorities for this year? Personal, right? And I'm going to just write some things down right here. First thing that I notice, how old will I be, right? And let's say I'm 78. I will be 79. And the cool thing is it puts it in perspective because if you go over here and I'm 78 now, that means I'm going to be, I can't count, but I'm assuming it's going to be 82 and then 88. When I started doing that for people and for myself, I'm like, wait a second, I'm going to be that much older. Holy cow, I need to get to this. It really puts it in perspective. So that's number 1. Number 2, when you're doing personal and business, I want to just write things out. Here's some questions for you that will help you. Where would you be living? What skills or knowledge you want to acquire? How can you advance your career? What specific financial goals do you have? You can do all of these questions. And for me, I already know, so I'm going to just put, I just want it personal. I want to, very easy. I want to teach my daughter to drive. Easy, right? What else do I want to do? I want to personal. I want to read. Let's just say I want to read 10 more books this year. 10 books. This is just really quick. Personal. What else? I'd love to go on more hiking walks with my wife. Let's see here. More hiking walks. Easy, right? Dot. Now we'll go to business. For me, business, I need to work on my skills more. So I'd love to maybe learn something new and go deeper. And it would be, I want to learn more about working with financial forms. And so I'm going to take a class, online class on finances, online class on finances. These are just things I'm thinking. And then let's get really specific and say, hey, you know what? I want to make 150,000 a year, right? No, like 12 months, next 12 months. Now you can keep going with all these. You want to build a team. I want a team, right? Or I just want staff, no team. I just want to be a single mega agent with a lot of staff. Or I want a whole bunch of buyer's agents or whatever this looks like. Now, for me, I'm going to say, well, I also need some actions here. So if I'm going to pick a few of these, let's go with this one. I'm like, you know what? That one's standing out for me. I want to do 150K a year after I wrote all these out. That stands out. I want, what actions do I need to do here? Well, here's where I want to challenge you. I want to remind you that you're only going to succeed at a high level when you focus on this right here with your strengths. You can't watch somebody else do something and like, damn, I want to copy that person. No, stop. How can you get there with your strengths? If you're amazing at talking to people in person, then you've got to have an in-person plan. Part of this has to do that. But if you're amazing on social, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna, I can do this. I probably do more social media and maybe one-on-one coffee. All right. Those are some actions. Now, let's say you spend some time on this. You do this all right. It looks beautiful, right? And you do the same thing over here because you want to kind of outline where you're going long term, right? And you're done with this. We're going to skip this. For us, we're going to use this one, 150K a year. This is important. This becomes my number one priority because we're doing the business one, right? Let's skip to this, keep going, right? And normally I would outline the priorities here, right here from the other pages. I'm like, you know what? These are the most important things to me. And I want to do these two. These are cool. Now I'm going to take, let's say the top one, which was 150,000 a year, and I'm going to break it down. And this is where the fun gets even more funner. I know that's not a word, but it's funner. All right. And let's change this to blue. And is it physical, intellectual, spiritual? It's a business one, right? This is a business goal. What's my goal? Let's make it timely, actionable, right? And specific. It's a SMART goal. You know what I'm talking about. Priority. I want to make 150K by, what month are we in? April? Let's do March. You know what? Let's do April. We're going to do April 2025. And by focusing on my strengths, and we'll get into strengths. And if I spell something wrong, my bad. Why? Why is this important to me? This part sometimes we miss. And I think this is going to get you through all of the ups and downs, because if you've been in real estate for a while or you've done anything tough, you're going to have ups and downs. It's just part of life, and it's going to get hard. And the more barriers you break, it's going to get harder. And you're going to feel like, damn, is this worth it? And you're going to go back to your why and be like, yes, it's worth it. But you have to get specific. And there can be a lot of reasons to this. And the number one thing isn't going to be money. It can be part of it, but let's go deeper. I always go, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper, right? So whatever your why is, it could be like, I want to impress. I want to, it starts with something like this typically. I want to impress my mom and dad, right? Or I want to pay off what I owe, right? I'll tell you, for me, when I got into real estate first year, I was like, I want to, and let me stop sharing really quick. I'll come right back to this. First year, I get into real estate, I get my license, I graduate college. I graduated in May 2004. I would have graduated earlier, but I took the 6-year route. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to college. So I took 2 years off. Graduated in 2004. And that same month when I graduated, I got my real estate license in the mail. And I also got accepted to law school. And I was like, okay, I'm going all in real estate. I went door knocking for 6 hours that first day, dressed up, all in. But for me, the biggest driver was that right here. For me, the biggest driver, and there was nothing wrong with it. Let me stop. Let me share. Number one biggest driver was I owed money. Man, it's not cheap going to college. And so this was big for me. This was a big driver. And on top of that, I was living in a bedroom with my wife at my mom's house. And that's just not a good combo. And everyone was not getting along, let me tell you. And so I was like, I need to get out of here. What can I do? And so obviously, you know the story. My mom said real estate agents drive nice cars. So I'm like, yeah, they do. Interesting. So I got into real estate and I went all in. I had no excuses. My back was to the wall. I was at the bottom. I was like, let's do this. So I quickly, in 6 months, had paid off everything I owed. I had zero debt because we had so many transactions coming through from everything that I was doing. And this, I kept on going to why. Why am I door knocking so long? Why am I making calls? Why am I doing this? And here, let me share something with you. We're all at different parts of our journey. Don't let somebody tell you that you shouldn't be working until 11 at night. And don't let somebody tell you that you shouldn't be taking certain days off. We're all at different parts of our journey. I would work with my wife in the car up until 10 p.m. We were showing property together. Different part of our journey. Now we take weekends off sometimes, but I have a team. We work differently. I built up to this. Do we have hard times still? Yes. Don't let other people tell you how you should be running your business. You already know. You just have to get clarity. And this is what this is for. So let me share the screen again. Once you figure it out, sometimes you want to answer this one. This one's specifically for businesses we help. What problems are we solving? I'll give you an example. There's a company right now that we're presenting to tomorrow. There's a big company and they have a challenge because when you look at their brand, nobody knows what the hell it stands for. It's like, what is this? So they're having a challenge. I'm like, it's a big problem, right? Let's identify that first. For you, it may not matter. Now, 3 strategies. Remember your strengths. What are your strengths? Let's go for your strengths. All right, so I want to pick one. If I pick, remember, I picked social media on the other page. Social media is one. And then I love connecting with people in person, right? I love the in-person piece. So let's do in person. That's what I chose over here. And then say, maybe I'm really good at community, the building out a community in person, getting people together, networking, right? So then I'm going to go and these shift directly into here, right? And I'm going to give myself 3 actions under this. This is the key piece because this is the piece that you're going to take and put on your calendar. This is a living document. This is the piece that changes all the time throughout the next 12 months, right? If you want to get to this right here, 150,000, you're going to know that things aren't going to look the same by the time you get there because you've shifted, you've adapted, you've changed. It's part of business. Once you write this down, be prepared to change some things that aren't working. A lot of you are stuck to the same damn goal and didn't realize that you needed to shift 6 months ago. Your number one key to success is your adaptability. So here we go. If I pick, let's go with, you know what? Let's go with social media. And I'm going to say, okay, well, since I'm really good at social, I'm going to LCM because, you know, Tristan says he developed this for Facebook and Instagram. They loved it. And it kind of fits into what I do, but I'm going to be specific and I'm going to just do it on Facebook. Why? Like somebody said earlier in this live thing, because I'm old. I'm on Facebook because I'm old. Okay. I'm old, but that's okay because people that are old have homes, right? And that's okay. Happy face. So LCM on Facebook, let's go for 20 minutes a day. And I'm going to make people feel really happy, right? That's my goal. All right, cool. LCM's 1. Number 2, on social, I'm going to get better at, on social, I'm going to get better at creating content. And for those of you who know, we have a calendar that goes out every month. And in that calendar, it tells you what to post, gives you some ideas. It just gives you a good flow to start from. So I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to create better content. Let's get specific, better content that is inspired by, and I'm spelling things wrong because I'm in a hurry here. because we've only got like 19 minutes. Better content that's inspired by calendar. By calendar, we'll put Tristan's calendar and connects with my audience, right? Okay, we got number 2. We might need to think a little bit, audience, whatever. We might need to think about this one a little bit more. So the next step on this one in the calendar, you'll see it'll be more like research, which is fine. Then we've got a third one. What's the third one going to be for social media? If I'm already on Facebook, connecting with people and engaging, the other one is better content. I would say the third one for me on social is going to be doing research and finding finding others who are successful, because I want to learn from them. I want to be inspired by them, and I want to get ideas from them. That's part of social. It's also a living, changing thing. And the part that we miss sometimes, if you've got a team or maybe somebody who's helping you, who will help with this? For me, if I was doing this, in fact, I have June. June helps with this for me. There's a whole bunch of people who help, but the first one that came to mind for me is June, and I probably would quarterback maybe that one. Oh no, that one's personal. I don't quarterback that one. It would be probably helping me with that content and also helping me with research. I do this one myself. All right, so now imagine doing the same thing for this. For time's sake, for this, you check that one. Same 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to take this right here, and right here, and we're going to take it over to the calendar. This to me is the part that we miss. Besides this whole thing, we miss this part because we never put it into our calendar. We say, hey, at this time, this many days, we're going to do this until it's done or until it becomes a habit. Then we can replace one of these 3 actions with something new. So let's put it first. LCM, I need to do 20 minutes a day. I'm probably going to do weekdays. So let's go to the calendar, LCM on Facebook. Remember, we're very specific. This is 4 weeks. It's called the next 4 weeks for a reason. It takes a little bit longer to get into a groove, but I wanted to make it nice. Monch did such a great job designing this. It really takes about 6 weeks, but we're going to go week 1. We're not going to do for LCM Sunday or Saturday to start off. In fact, I want to take it serious, and let's do 8 a.m. For me, let's see, it would be 8 a.m. LCM, 20 minutes, right? And you know it's on Facebook. And so I would do it Tuesday, I would do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I put it on my calendar. This now becomes the law for me. It just becomes reality because it's here. And I do the exact same thing here. I'm on a mission, right? And this is what we don't sometimes do. Boom. Let me put this all the way through. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to come back to this because we're going to fill this out together. We sometimes feel like because we miss something, we're like, oh, screw it. It's done. I can't do it anymore. Or, oh, how do I get back into it? Forget it. If you can't do it later in the day, start again tomorrow. It's okay. You're going to mess up. Don't think just because you miss a day or 2 or things happen over here, things happen over there, you can't continue to do it. This is a plan that you're going to stick to hopefully 80% of the time, or maybe it's 51% of the time, but you're winning more times than you're losing. And if you fall off, guess what? There's a freaking plan here that you created based on your strengths. Jump back on there. And we get disheartened sometimes, and we're like, I fell off. So don't think that. Let me share this back. Here we go. So you got LCM. We're gonna do LCM. We're just gonna pretend it's all filled up for the rest of the weeks. Now we're gonna go back, and we're going to pick now better content that's inspired by Tristan's calendar and connects with my audience. Maybe I don't know what connects with my audience, and I need to do a little bit of research. So This one and this one, both of these at the bottom, number 2 and 3, require a little bit more research. But I've got June to help me out. Let's say you don't, right? June's my secret weapon. But let's say you don't have anybody and it falls on you. Better content requires understanding of your audience. So we went through a little bit of that on day 1. So for me, what days are going to be easier based on my calendar? I know Tuesdays are not. Personally, they're probably the Tuesdays and Thursdays are the toughest days for me, right? So I think Monday's a little easier. In fact, you know what? Sundays, I could probably do Sunday. Maybe if I have some time in the morning when I'm preparing or in the evening, I'm going to do some research on who my audience is first. So my audience, discover audience. And it's going to be from 9 a.m. to, let's say, 10 a.m. Or maybe it's different for you. Now, I'm discovering audience. I don't know that that's going to give me enough time because now I need to look at the calendar and say, well, how does this fit? So I'm probably going to continue that conversation with myself, maybe on Monday or maybe on Wednesday if I don't have time. And Wednesday, it's going to be 5 to 6 p.m. Discover audience again. And now I go back and I'm like, okay, discover audience. What does this look like? At the end of the day, it's better content that's matching my audience. So I'm going to go through the calendar as a next round and say, you know what, Saturday, because I want to get this done, I'm serious. I'm not going to leave this for another time. I'm going to do 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. calendar research. Like, what does this look like? Right. And let's say I'm done. I'm like, you know what? This looks good. Now I'm going to outline it next. And I'm going to use the momentum. Sunday, I'm going to do 9 a.m. to 10. And I'm going to say, I'm going to outline what I'm going to be doing on social. Outline social. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll check where we're done, what we've done then. So far we've got these 2 on the calendar. Next one, research, finding other successful social media people that are along the same lines or that just inspire me. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to be like, okay, if I do too much, damn, this is going to be packed. So why don't I start maybe doing some research over on Saturday or Friday? You know, Friday's a little slower maybe, and you can put 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. research other social people, influencers. And we'll see where we're at after that. And then maybe write down some ideas, right? Get specific about what this looks like. And then I want to have a go day, like, when should I actually start recording these, right? So then that would be the next thing. Once you're done with that, and that, this is ongoing. But now, let's say I'm done with my research. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, you know what? I already found my research. And I'm going to now do what's next. And what's next? Well, I'm going to actually start creating content. Start creating content. This is a living document. This is the piece that we miss because now this will go into the calendar over here. And then it goes into my real calendar. So this is how we function. This is how we create momentum. This is how we create specifics. This is how we get priorities in place so you don't fall off track and be like, what was I doing? Well, I was doing this, but then I saw this silver bullet for my business, and let's go over here because that's what happens to all of us. All right. Let's see what we got. Cindy, not a stupid question. Great question. It really depends on you. And I didn't have time to show you, but both my personal page and my business page now perform really well. So it just depends what you want to do. For some reason, my business page has a different following than my personal page. So I love to test things out. And I would suggest that you do the same thing. But remember, on a personal level, people want to connect with you. So don't be scared to use your personal page. But if we're talking just Facebook, this is a whole different session. We'll probably do this next week. But if you're talking just Facebook, uh, Facebook is rewarding business pages right now. So personal business pages, other business pages, just depends on the content. And organic is always the best way to go to connect with people, whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anything. It always comes down to the organic piece. Arshad, do you suggest sharing on your business page and then share on your post to your personal page? You know, let me see if I can show you. I'm gonna quickly show you, and we'll go through this. Let me see if I can connect. No, I can't. All right, I can't show you Arshad, but the key to it is when you post to your personal page and you're a digital creator, which I suggest everyone change their profile to be, so that you get more options to connect with more people. You get more feedback as to what your page looks like. And let me see here. Facebook. I can't show you on my personal Facebook on my screen. And then we'll go to a few more questions. So if you look at, this is my personal Facebook page, right? And right here, and you have options right here. You have tools, right? You have advertise. We can advertise with this is my personal page, right? You have other options here that you can take a look at that normally you don't get. So you see the tools. I can go in here and I check. Over the last 28 days, I've reached 400,000 people, and my posts have gotten 152,000 and engaged. I haven't gained a lot of followers, but the engagement has been pretty high, right? And I can take a look at who my audience is. This is important, again, so I know who my audience is. And if you take a look at, let's just go on and have some fun really quick, which we'll go into next week. But if I'm going into YouTube and I take a look at YouTube Studio and I take a look at my analytics and I take a look at my audience, I can take a look at where my audience is from. In fact, who my audience is. If I click on more, I can take a look at their age, right? And I can take a look at age here. It's about the same if you compare it to Facebook's, not bad. But here's where it changes because I keep track of this. Facebook has 60% of my audience is male, right? And I can also check where they engaged. And I can take a look at here, and I can take a look at, it's the opposite. Crazy, right? So you've got to be paying attention to the details because my audience probably in 3 different outlets is completely different. And I mean, when you add LinkedIn in there, remember, most LinkedIn, they're professionals. So then you have to think, well, is my content connecting with the right audience in the right outlet? But that's why I say start with one. Start with one. Where are you already at? Everything I'm telling you is based on where your strengths are. And once you've got that down, then you can layer it and say, well, I want to learn this. I want to go here. But it's got to go in that sheet so you can keep track and change and grow. Look, I want all of you in group coaching. We just scratched the surface in these last 2 days in 4.5 hours or so. And there's just so much, and the world keeps changing around us, and it feels like it's moving faster. But I want you to slow down so you can capitalize on relationships, because you can't quickly build relationships, not the ones that really matter. And I want to teach you how to continually adapt in our current world and where we're heading. So please jump in. Where do we have our group coaching session link? Anybody have any other questions, any comments, any concerns while I drink the rest of my coffee? We made it on time. Now I'm crunching an ice. We made it on time. I thought for sure I was going to go over, but we did it because I skipped the whole social media piece. Trenton, you did such a great job on the AI, man. And I know we only touched it a little bit because I had to skip how to create thumbnails and how to use Canva. Trish, thank you. I'll see you later today. It'll be kind of like an open conversation for our group coaching call later, what's working with all of us. Leanne, you just signed up. Great. Thank you so much. What other questions did we miss, guys? Let's see here. Cindy, we already got you. Heidi, if you want to put your email, get a discounted rate if you wait. Oh, got it. No, this is the lowest it gets. We go up to 479 at the end of this week. You'll be in the tribe, Heidi. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And any other questions we missed, guys, that we needed to answer?
I just
Trenton?
wanted to mention about the Zoom meeting after this.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still doing that?
Geez, totally forgot. Oh, you know what? Since we forgot, we'll probably just include everybody into the coaching at 1, which will be 1
Cool.
Pacific, 2 Mountain, 3 Central, and 4 Eastern. So I'll see you there. Alexander, I think the last day is Friday, but I don't know. That's a launch question because he's the one that controls the little button. And guys, any clarity that you need on this, I'll stay here for about 5 more minutes for you. Any clarity that you need on anything that I talked about, let me know. The recording and the PDFs will go out on Wednesday to everyone, but we'll dig deeper. I think Trenton, remember how you used to say right off the bat? I think I use the word deeper just as much as you use right off the bat. That's funny.
I haven't used that in a while. So
I know, but what happened to it? I used to always look forward to it, just to
subconscious
poke
in
it.
my head.
It was terrible. It was really good, dude. It was really good.
Yeah,
James,
so
yeah.
today, Tuesdays with Tristan, you guys, it's the first call that you'll be in for the group coaching for those that joined today. Thank you and excitement to all those that did join as well. We did have a plethora of those that popped in there. But Tuesdays with Tristan is a great one. He deep dives into a lot of mindset, vision, focus, and how to really plan for your goals. So definitely don't miss that one today for all those that are new and those that are current members.
And Nancy asked a question, Trenton. If you signed up, where do you get the link for the coaching? Asusena, I think if anybody signed up today, let's just make sure to include those in the group coaching for today so they at least they can get it quickly.
Yeah, once you do sign up, you'll get an onboarding link as well that will get you access to the Brilliant Tribe dashboard, which will have all the recordings for every call that we've done and continue to do. They're always recorded and available at any time, typically at least 2 to 3 days after they get they're live. But they're always there. Plus, all the documents that are included in the recordings as well will always be available too.
Great. And
Hey,
Carl, do
Carl,
you know?
you got
Yeah,
that?
what is that? Trenton, you got it.
I don't have the link for that. James does actually, but that's also included in the onboarding email that you guys will all receive. We'll send out a Google Calendar link that will allow for you to add all of the calendar invites directly into your calendar if you'd like for all the 20 plus sessions that are there. This week we do have Tuesdays with Tristan. Tomorrow is the weekly scripting call with Mark Rader, and then we also have the X Factor call on Thursday, I believe, and the Prospect or Die as well, which is a great one that he mentioned earlier that you guys don't want to miss, where they actually do some live callings for over an hour and
Let's see
go
if it
through.
shows. Is prospect or die? There you go.
Yes.
It sounds scary, but it's not. We should have named it something else.
Oh, that's funny.
Kittens and babies. That's what we should name it. Kittens and babies.
Do you want
Uh,
to go over the group coaching, just what they get really quick
yeah, if
on the
they're still
page?
here, why not here? Do you have the link? Because I went to the wrong place, so I couldn't even. I'm only
Yes.
good for certain things, guys. I suck at this part. Leanne, yes, confirming today, 4 p.m. Eastern. You're gonna get a link. Here we go.
Here's our group coaching page. Right here we have 2 things that we offer as far as Pathfinders that is for all agents of all levels. Visionaries, this is if you are a team or a broker that wants to grow their team with some exclusive sessions as well included in that. Here are the different calls that we do have, and it shows the different dates and time. If you go to the right here, it'll show you the other ones as well. Every morning, or every Tuesday and Thursday, there's always a huddle as well there, AI strategy, social media, CRM, um, all that there. And then you can also see a little bit more in detail here of what to expect and what this looks like a little bit more in depth here. Always included is the Facebook community group as well that you guys will all be invited to. And the ABT and LCA marketing centers are two different ones, but they are very similar, and you do get access into those right away. And those will all be included in the onboarding documents that you do receive. Here's a couple of our coaches that we have in here. We're going to be adding a few more that we just signed up as coaches in the last month or so. A couple females that are going to get added here as well that are really great for branding specifically. And then down here at the bottom, here is where we would have the Pathfinders if you guys would like to sign up. And then the Visionaries, if you were a team or a broker that wanted to take a look at what that looks like. And that's how you can do that.
I like it. Good breakdown, man.
Oh, will you be covering things to help us with NAR changes?
Oh, yeah. We've been doing that for the last, in fact, that's what we pivoted all our Tuesday calls to. We had Barry Jenkins on who went over verbiage and what to say. And then we had a whole session just talking about the approach, best approaches. Mark Rader is talking about that tomorrow too. So Mark Rader is one of our top agents for the team, and he's always going over dialogue, scripting, how to talk to people. And tomorrow he's going over how to talk to people about this. But yeah, we're I don't know anybody that's talking about it as much as we are. It might be too much, but at least we're giving you exactly what to do in pivoting. So thank you so much. Paul, you had some great questions. Brand
Questions
agnostic.
regarding Drunk on Social, by the way.
Oh,
Those are
shoot.
separate from Pathfinder with the Brilliant Tribe. Drunk on Social is primarily, I mean, I'll let you talk about that with you and Jeff Fitzer.
Yeah, Jeff and I also run Drunk on Social, and that's specifically for social media. And we have 3 or 4 sessions a month just on that. That's it. What we do here is we talk about real estate, how to grow, how to make more money, how to connect with people, how to make this into an actual business that starts producing for you. Paul, this is definitely agnostic, and we have people from every major brokerage, I think. And when it comes to CRM, Trenton is the one that runs the CRM sessions. So I know he's proficient with Real Geeks. I know he's proficient because he runs it all for us. That's why I know. Follow Up Boss, KV Core, he's pretty decent with. Lofty, he's great with. And I know he knows how to use a little bit of Sync and then the other basic ones as well. So that'll be really good. Anything else? Let me see here. Great questions,
If
by
you
the
want to
way.
sign up for Pathfinder, I just dropped a link in there again. You can sign up there. 149 promo for the week. That is monthly, and you'll have that monthly price locked in as long as you guys are an active member going forward. If you do end up canceling, though, that promo price will go away. So just keep that in mind as well.
Oh, good point. Good point. Heidi says, sorry if you've covered this. Are the coaching calls recorded? Yes, they are. You also get a back end system. So you get to see all the recorded calls. And some of our sessions that we do, I'd say half of our sessions that we do come with a PDF. So they kind of have a breakdown of everything we cover. So it simplifies it. You can keep it. That's why I have so many PDFs to show because we have a lot. That's funny. It's a
Yeah,
good
and
point.
for the CRM class, whenever we go over different smart plans, we do provide you guys with the smart plan that is covered as well. A couple of the ones that we've done are new buyer smart plan, new seller smart plan, nurturing smart plans, and I believe the next one we have is for open house follow-up as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you. And then Denise, no bundle, unfortunately, because we typically charge $479 per person for this group coaching. And so we decided to drop the price down to make it more affordable for most agents so that we didn't have to bundle it out, and it ends up being more costly the other way. But thank you. Great question. Joy joined Pathfinders. Joy, thank you. You're going to love it. Appreciate you. And I think a few other people up there did. Denise, I have Lofty. That is great. Love this. Yeah, Denise, you'll see Trenton and myself use Lofty and showcase it a lot. In fact, when I make the calls live on Thursdays, I mostly start with Lofty. So I'll show you processes, how we communicate, put in the notes and all the other things in there. So it's really good. And then I jump over to follow a boss typically. Amato, Tristan, great presentation. I am glad I signed up. Amato, thank you. I know we're longtime friends, so it's great to have you on board as well. Denise, thank you. Kristen, thank you. Joy, you're welcome. Excited about learning what needs to be learned. Joy, I love that attitude. I like that. Excited to learn what needs to be learned. It's kind of like how I meet everybody. It's like, okay, I can learn something. What's up? Good, dude. I like it. How's the weather in Denver, dude? Trenton?
It's pretty nice today. It snowed and rained yesterday, but it's nice and sunny out right now. Changes up every day.
It's clear today here. It's nice.
I was in Vegas for a few days, and it went from being really sunny to really windy to being freezing all in the 3 days I was there.
Dude, that's too much for me. See, this is why I'm not in snow. I would freeze to death. And then I thaw out, but I'd still be dead. Carl, where's the link for today's call with Tristan? You're going to get that, Carl. Don't worry about it. It's in about 2 hours. It's going to be more of an open call to see how different agents are doing around the nation with the changes, with the conversations that we've been having with different sellers and buyers, because we've been having some pretty good conversations about the settlement, but still we're seeing some changes in the way people approach it. Not a lot, but some. So great. And Yvonne says, thanks for lifting up our community. Yvonne, we do it together. You'll find that the people we associate with are people that look for opportunities instead of looking to be the victim in situations. So you'll see what we all think similarly. And I think that might be a wrap, everybody. Let's see what we got. Sorry, one of the hosts and panelists said there was a bundle with ABT and dose. No, I wish there was. There was before, but we cut that one off because we're offering more here. And the dose one, Denise, not as far as I know. But if I'm wrong, which I am sometimes, my team will let you know, Denise. I'll let you know. Gail, thank you so much for a great 2 days. I appreciate you, Gail. Thank you. And then lastly, Monch says the recording and all the documents shared during this event will be emailed to you tomorrow in the morning. So that means you'll see the 2 videos, this session, and then yesterday's session. And then you'll see all the docs that pertain to the first session and all the docs and links that pertain to the second session. I'm working on that today. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Roger, thank you for joining. Denise, yeah, I don't even know half the things sometimes. My team's like, no. And I was like, sorry. So thank you, everybody. Have an awesome day.